Good afternoon. This is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Check Professionals. I'm here at 376 North Avenue 57 in Highland Park, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping which is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping which are underneath or interior to the structure. Today's video examination does not focus on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. Alright, so I've accessed today's main sewer line from a 4-inch maintenance access located on the right side near the front right corner of the property and of the building. Now we've pushed through about 40 feet of the building drain line system. The camera then exited out of the building, and we pushed about another 50 feet to this connection point of public sewer, which is what we're looking at right now. We're going to get an exact linear counter on the video as we're coming back towards the access point that we started from, and I'll give you different orientations as to a few different things. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to be coming from public sewer back up to this access point. We're commenting on the different pipe materials because there are a couple of different materials in the line, along with the typical or general characteristics of the pipe as well as what we're looking at here. Now, I'm going to try to get an angle of this. We're basically looking at the joint area here to public sewer. There we go. We got a decent angle there. Now, this is basically what's called the saddle, the connection from public sewer onto the lateral that services this property. There's a crack running along that bottom part of the pipe. It's not entirely clear to see because we do have water running over that section, but that white line that's coming basically from where the linear counter is to the center of the screen, lower center of the screen, that's a break in that pipe. So that's going to need to be repaired. Took a photograph of that, which will be included in the report. Now, the pipe material that we're in right now is a pipe material known as vitrified clay. Vitrified clay has a long service life expectancy. However, it is more susceptible to damage during earthquake and seismic activity, and it also has a tendency to let in roots at the joint areas. We didn't see a whole lot in the way of roots in this pipe. We didn't see a whole lot in the way of roots in this pipe. We did see a couple sections that are cracked. There's two breaks on the lateral, so it's basically the portion of the line that's running under the street. The saddle connection, which is what we saw first in the video, it's in the center of the street, it's about 9 feet deep. Then there's one that's basically right before the sidewalk, it's in the street. Then we do have a small crack here running along the left side of the pipe. This one isn't as big of a concern, but considering you have a break in the beginning of the lateral and at the end, you're going to have to be replacing basically the entire lateral. Alright, there we have the second crack there running along. You can see it running along the left side of the pipe there. Alright, so this is the more significant crack that's running along. You can see it on the right side of the screen there. So that's basically the first crack on the lateral, so it's basically just beyond the sidewalk on the asphalt in the street. I've marked that out with some green marking paint, and this is about 7 feet deep. The way that the line runs for the building is it's exiting out of the building near the right corner. It's then running along the front side of the property for about 10 feet, and then it basically jots to the left and heads in a direct path out to the street. So right now, we're essentially running under the sidewalk. We're about to be getting onto the property line here in a minute. Right here at this connection point. So at this point, we're converting back into the section on the property line. Now, At this point, we're converting into a different material. This material is a original cast iron pipe. Now, cast iron is a material which typically has a service life anywhere between 70 to 80 years on average. Some pipes last longer, some pipes don't last that long. That's the average for how long the cast iron pipe can last. Now, what typically occurs in a cast iron pipe is that there's actually chemical reactions going on within the pipe as it gets older, and we have rust and scale start to build up into the pipe. The next thing that happens is the bottom of the pipe will start to level off, and then lastly, the bottom of the pipe will start to basically channel out, and it'll have most of the traffic basically centered in about a either 1 to 2 inch section of the pipe, and that section of the pipe will basically start to rot away pretty rapidly. Now, I'm pointing all that out because we're essentially seeing indications that we do see a bit of rust and scale buildup in this section of line, not too significant. We do see the bottom of the pipe leveling out, and we do see the beginning of that rotting stage in the bottom portion of the pipe. Again, the reason to bring this to the attention is that while it isn't broken immediately, and I don't see a broken or cracked pipe, this is something that will need to be replaced in the near future. And so replacement should be accounted for and predicted for the near future. Alright. Now we're going to be making a small turn, and this is where we start running basically along the front side of the property. And we have some music playing in one of these units, so I'll try to talk loud enough so that you can hear it on the recording.
Hey, I thought you could... Oh, no. Hi, Bob. How you doing? I thought you could...
Okay, and we're converting back now into a section of clay pipe, and we only have about 10 more feet of this before we actually enter into the building drainage system. So in addition to those breaks that we have under the lateral, we do need to have a clean out installed where the line actually exits. And this clay is actually coming out of the building. And the reason for that is that right now you're going to be basically missing certain connections and certain cleaning with the access that we have today. Alright, I'm going to pause the microphone for just a moment. Alright, so we're back here. Great. So now this section right here, we're now going to be converting into the building drain line system. So, main sewer line, about 52 feet in total. We've got the 2 breaks on the lateral under the street. We need to get the clean out installed out in the front yard. At this point, we're entering, again, into the building drain line system. Not the focus of my examination, but I did pass through it. Now, this section of the cast iron is in worse shape. Probably because we just have a smaller diameter pipe. We're looking at a diameter pipe here of only about 4 inches. And you can see the bottom of the pipe is pretty blacked out. The rust and scale buildup is a lot more significant in this section of the line. Now, the reason that this is more of a concern because there's a higher likelihood of the line to start backing up. I actually, when I first started running my camera, some debris had caught up within the pipe, and the pipe actually was filling up. My camera was able to knock it out, and the line started draining, but again, we have some foreign particles which have been pushed into the, basically into the sewer line, and then we're looking at this. I'm not even really sure what this is. It looks almost like a bag of sorts. I mean, that looks like a drawstring. Anyways, I'm going to try to push this out a little bit. I don't often get to see this in my reports, but this right now is essentially a foreign object which has gotten itself stuck within the pipe. This is going to need to be cleaned out with a hydrojetting. I wanted to get it out of that section of the cast iron so it wasn't stuck anymore. But essentially we have things like that getting caught up in the line, and when my camera can push them out, we shouldn't be seeing that in the pipe at all. Now, a majority of this building drainline system is this original cast iron. We do have a couple sections of plastic that have been extended out. The access point that I chose today, it is a plastic pipe that's extending out of the building. But again, a majority of what we're looking at here is essentially an original cast iron pipe that is old and is pretty well deteriorated. And in a unit like this, or in a building like this, you're going to have so much traffic through this pipe. It's not the right material to be able to properly service the line, and you're going to have issues with it. A few more feet here, and I'm about to be, we'll be pulling out of the clean-out access that I started from. And now we're in this last portion of the line. We're in this section of plastic. Here I'm going to be pulling out of the line. So, I'm here. We're located, just wipe off the camera. The front of it's over there. That's out to the street. And the access point that we started from, this clean out. It's got this cap. This fits right on top of it right there. Okay, so with that, I'm going to be wrapping up the video portion of the examination for today. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.